Brigham Young University, or BYU, is known for its academic rigor and commitment to the principles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Central to the BYU experience is the Honor Code, a set of regulations that govern student conduct both on and off campus. The Honor Code dictates a strict moral code, prohibiting premarital sex, alcohol consumption, and even the consumption of caffeinated beverages. While these rules are intended to foster a righteous environment, they have cast a long shadow over the university, particularly when it comes to the issue of sexual assault. The very principles intended to uphold virtue have, in practice, created an environment where victims of sexual assault are often silenced, fearing that reporting their experiences will lead to their own punishment. In numerous cases, students who have come forward to report sexual assault have found themselves under investigation by the Honor Code Office, their personal lives scrutinized for any potential violations. This unsettling reality has led to a chilling effect on reporting, leaving many survivors feeling isolated, silenced, and re-traumatized by the very institution that should be offering them support. This essay will delve into the hidden history of BYU's handling of sexual assault cases, exploring the stories of courageous survivors who have come forward to share their experiences. We will examine the systemic issues that have allowed this culture of silence to persist, including the inherent conflict between the Honor Code and Title IX, the federal law designed to protect students from sex discrimination. By understanding the complexities of this issue, we can begin to advocate for meaningful change, ensuring that BYU becomes a place where all students feel safe, supported, and empowered to speak their truth. By shedding light on these stories, we hope to spark a conversation that will lead to lasting change, creating a safer and more supportive environment for all students at BYU. Margot Crandall arrived at BYU with the same hopes and dreams as any other freshman. She had a bright future ahead of her, eager to embrace the challenges and opportunities that awaited her at this esteemed institution. However, her experience took a dark turn, plunging her into a nightmare that would expose the deeply flawed underbelly of BYU's system. Crandall's ordeal began when she was blackmailed and sexually assaulted by a man who used compromising photos to control and abuse her. Trapped in a horrifying situation, Crandall felt powerless to escape her abuser's grasp. The fear and shame that washed over her were compounded by the chilling realization that seeking help from BYU could have devastating consequences. The Honor Code, with its unwavering stance on chastity, loomed over Crandall like a menacing specter. She knew that reporting the assault could lead to an investigation into her own conduct, potentially resulting in disciplinary action or even expulsion. Crandall, like countless other survivors at BYU, found herself trapped in a double bind, forced to choose between her safety and her future. The weight of the Honor Code pressed down on Crandall, silencing her voice and stealing her agency. Her story is a stark reminder of the devastating impact that a culture of silence can have on survivors of sexual assault. It underscores the urgent need for reform, for a system that prioritizes the safety and well-being of survivors above all else. Her story serves as a powerful call to action, a demand for accountability and change to ensure that no other student has to endure the same agonizing silence. At the heart of BYU's struggle to address sexual assault lies a fundamental conflict between two seemingly disparate sets of rules: the institution's deeply ingrained Honor Code and the federal law known as Title IX. This conflict has created a chilling effect, discouraging survivors from coming forward and seeking justice. Title IX, enacted in 1972, prohibits sex-based discrimination in any school or educational program that receives federal funding. Its primary goal is to create a learning environment free from sexual harassment and assault, ensuring that all students have equal access to education. The law mandates that schools like BYU take proactive steps to prevent sexual assault, respond promptly and effectively to reports of assault, and provide support services to survivors. However, BYU's strict honor code, which governs the personal conduct of its students, often runs counter to the principles of Title IX, creating a complex dilemma for survivors seeking support. The honor code's emphasis on chastity and obedience, while intended to promote a moral environment, can deter survivors from reporting assault out of fear that their own conduct will be scrutinized. The very act of reporting an assault, which should be met with compassion and support, could potentially trigger an honor code investigation, leading to disciplinary action for violations such as underage drinking or consensual sexual activity. This fear of being punished for behaviors that are often associated with sexual assault creates a significant barrier to reporting, allowing perpetrators to act with impunity and leaving survivors feeling isolated and betrayed by the very institution that should be protecting them. Addressing this conflict is essential to creating a safer and more equitable campus for all students. BYU must prioritize the well-being and safety of its students above all else, ensuring that its policies and practices align with both the letter and the spirit of Title IX. The true human cost of BYU's flawed system is best understood through the stories of courageous survivors who have dared to break the silence. Women like Madi, Madeline McDonald, and countless others have bravely come forward to share their experiences, shining a light on the systemic issues that have allowed sexual assault to persist at BYU. Madi Barney's story gained national attention in 2016 when she reported being raped by a fellow student, despite the perpetrator initially confessing to the assault. He later recanted his statement, and the criminal case against him was dropped. Barney, fearing that she would be punished for potential honor code violations that occurred during the assault, filed a Title IX complaint against BYU, alleging that the university had failed to adequately respond to her report. Her case sparked outrage and protests, forcing BYU to confront its policies and the chilling effect they had on survivors. Madeline McDonald's experience further exposed the flawed system at BYU. After reporting a sexual assault in 2014, McDonald found herself subjected to an honor code investigation, her personal life scrutinized for any potential violations. The Title IX coordinator assigned to her case even suggested that false reports were common due to the strict premarital sex rules outlined in the honor code. This unsettling experience left McDonald feeling re-traumatized and betrayed by the very office that was supposed to be supporting her. These stories, along with countless others that remain untold, paint a disturbing picture of a system that prioritizes protecting the university's image over the safety and well-being of its students. By silencing survivors and failing to hold perpetrators accountable, BYU has created an environment where sexual assault has been allowed to flourish. The courage of these survivors in sharing their stories has sparked a long overdue conversation about sexual assault at BYU. In the midst of growing tensions, students began to organize petitions, seeking change and reform within the university. They voiced their concerns, hoping for a more inclusive and understanding environment. The administration, in turn, made promises of reform, aiming to address the issues raised. Despite efforts to address the issue, reporting rates of sexual assault at BYU remain significantly low. Many students feel discouraged from coming forward due to fear of repercussions or disbelief. In response to the crisis, BYU has taken some steps to improve its policies and support systems. However, questions remain about the effectiveness and sincerity of these measures. Unfortunately, a culture of fear still persists on campus. Survivors often feel isolated and unsupported, which can deter them from seeking help. It's crucial for the community to support survivors and demand meaningful change. Providing resources, fostering a supportive environment, and holding the institution accountable are essential steps in helping the survivors of Brigham Young University's systemic rape culture. Then restitution is needed for the countless brilliant young women whose lives were destroyed by the Mormon influences at BYU.